Hi, my name is Ted Chong, founder of Icecube Marketing, which is all about marketing and business growth. Today, I'm really excited to have with us Boyd Au. For those of you who do not know, Boyd is the ex-CEO and founder of Enzer, a publicly listed company in Singapore Stock Exchange. Enzer was given the Super Brands Awards for 3 consecutive times and really put Singapore on the world map. In 2006, Enzer generated $80 million in annual revenue. So today, I'm really glad that Boyd is with us here to share with businesses tips on how they can cope with the COVID-19 crisis. Thanks, Boyd, for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, Ted. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Let's dive right in. So Boyd, you have seen it all. While you're running your company, you have been through crises, recessions, one of the major ones being the 97 Asian financial crisis. Can you share with us businesses here how you managed to let your company survive and even thrive during that period?
See, I used to work for National Semiconductor from 1972 to 1982. During these 10 years, it's very famous in the electronic industry. Every 4 to 5 years, we will see a downturn. And the downturn means NAP shop will have big adjustment like retrenchment. So working for National for 10 years actually gave me 2-3 cycle of experience on how to manage downturn. But this downturn, this COVID-19 downturn is very different from what I have went through. It's really, really unthinkable what we are going through now. The whole world is like a standstill, you know. But of course, in every downturn, to survive, we have to manage our costs. It can't be helped. We have to manage our costs. So there are various ways to do it. And first thing is you cut all those entertainment costs, traveling costs. Instead of staying in a 5-star hotel, you probably stay in 2.5 or 3-star hotel and share rooms, whatever you do to cut costs. And if the downturn continue, then you have to look at your manpower costs. So what we do is we say, okay, you take annual leave. Take annual leave, go on leave, exhaust all the leave. And if the economy is still no good, then we say, hey, you got to do a short work week. That means 5 days, you work 4 days, 1 day no pay. Instead of straight away go into retrenchment. So you take gradual steps to conserve your cash. You have no choice, because if the company got no cash, the whole company will sink, no choice. So how do we survive? Frankly, it's by God's grace. It's by God's grace. In 1998, there was the Asia financial crisis, right? That one apparently only affect this part of the world. The US, not so bad, because our customers are mainly in the US. So the big brand names are still going strong. So we are still able to survive, except for the currency differences. So you trade in Thailand, the Thai baht slump. You trade in Indonesia, the rupiah devalue. So you cannot this forex exposure. But otherwise, 98 we are still quite okay. But it's those usual downturn that we really have to manage. But this downturn, the COVID-19, I have never experienced it before. So I'm in the same boat as you. But there are certain fundamentals we always have to do, whether good times or bad times. The job of the CEO, the founder, is to make sure your company has cash. You must always make sure you have cash. So with cash, you can do a lot of wonderful things. So the job of the CEO, the founder, must be a continuous effort to raise cash. Even when you don't need it, you raise cash. Whether it's selling more shares, do borrowings from bank, whatever way, you have to raise a lot of cash. So that's the job.
Supposing that a business has cash right now that can last them for a while, do you think that in that case, should they go more defense in the sense that they lie low right now and just try to survive and be conservative, or should they go more offense, like seek out new opportunities and pivot their business, take advantage of new opportunities, like say fitness studios going online or restaurants doing meals catering, that sort of thing? Like, what do you recommend businesses do right now?
Well, first thing, there is no great company I know who become great by cutting costs. I haven't seen one. They became great by cutting costs. We cut costs because of the economic situation. So now you say, if we have some cash, what do we do? Do we go on expansion or do we lie low? It really depends on your cash position. Take for example, of course, this is a local skincare brand. I think they have a lot of cash. So they're looking at buying one skincare company in UK. It is now still being negotiated, subject to stock exchange approval. So it depends on your company, whether you have cash or whether you can raise cash, and whether your asset can turn into cash fast. But if your company don't have that resource, then you have to really tighten your belt. You could be acquired. If somebody going to acquire you and you're not too sentimental, well, you negotiate for a good valuation. Of course, when you have cash, I remember in 98, one Malaysian company, he was interviewed in the CNBC. He said, my company has got $8 billion cash. Then they can buy companies. So whether you can or cannot depends, number one, on your cash. Number two, also depend on your management resources. Not just because you got cash, you go and buy a company that looks attractive, but you don't know how to manage. Because you will be pulled down as well. Now, I have went through that experience when we have cash and we go and buy a company because it looks good, looks attractive, but we don't know how to manage. And when we bought a company full of holes, you know, full of skeleton. So even buying a company, you better know what you're doing.
So for companies, what do you recommend as the cash that they need to have? Like, how many months of expenses do they need to have right now? And what if they really don't have that kind of cash?
Number one, your business and your business model, your track record must be attractive to raise cash, because there is never enough cash. I mean, can you imagine Singapore Airlines? You think they don't have cash? They have cash. They have good management. But in a long drawn downturn like COVID-19, we don't know where is we can't see the horizon, right? So one thing you have to do is to downsize your costs. Your cost of operation, you must downsize it to make it manageable. Second, you must have a war chest. You must have reserve. Because without that reserve, from my experience, you go nowhere. You will be acquired if you are attractive enough. So if you have cash, what do you do? Of course, you look around for business that you have synergy. Now, take for example, I don't need people now and I have some cash. And then one of my competitor or in a competitor's place, they lay off people, they lay off. And I know that this guy is good. He is a super salesman. I don't need manpower, but what do I do? Honestly, I will take a chance. I will hire him. I will hire him because I know he can bring value. Or if you see a good engineer that you need, but now you don't need, but you see him as good because he has developed so many new products. I will use my resources to hire him because the company is built by people. So now if I can see, good digital marketers who has track record, I will grab.
So that means companies with the cash war chest right now, they are in a very good position.
Of course.
Can expand.
Well, maybe the market will not allow you to expand. Maybe. But of course, we try to expand, to buy into prospects that we can never have in the past. I will buy my way in or muscle my way in by giving them attractive deals. So when you have cash, it's a wonderful world for business. Otherwise, you find a godfather who has cash.
So for companies with cash, are there any other opportunities that they can take advantage of right now, like say online, online stuff and so on?
Definitely. If you look at yesterday's paper, I think yesterday, I have it here. Have you seen this? Can you see this? Yesterday's Business Times.
No.
It's very interesting, and you notice I have a lot of highlight. I highlight in yellow. I can send it to you. This company, they brew specialty beer, BEER beer, and they sell the beer to pubs. So it's a B2B. And then when the COVID-19 came, pubs were not allowed to operate. Immediately, the business dried up. So what do they have to do? They have to change their business model. They straight away jump into e-commerce, B2C. That means they sell direct to the end customer. They don't sell to pubs anymore. So to go into e-commerce, they have to invest into the whole e-commerce value chain. Payment gateway, website, those are investments they need to do, but they are very fast. They executed very fast. So when it comes to a downturn, you just have to think out of the box. Take for example, I mentor one company in Vietnam. They make lingerie. Is that how you pronounce lingerie?
I think so.
Ladies' underwear and men's underwear. So business was bad. And what do? They have the technical skill to sew. So they convert the factory to make masks. And now they are doing so well. They make hundreds of thousands a month. So they changed. And I also read about one Australian company in Australia where they brew also beer. And the beer market dries up. So what do this Australian company do? They convert the factory, instead of brewing beer, they convert it to make sanitizer. Wow, they did a quick turn. So making beer and making sanitizer, at least one thing is in common is liquid and alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So they have some technical related skill. And then this Singapore company that sell beer, they go into e-commerce. So they have to invest. So those are the Cantonese say ma say lok de hang. You understand?
No.
the general ride on the horse. When the horse died, the general has to dismount and walk on the road. No more horse to ride. So that's what we have to do as a business. So when you have resources, of course, number one, you consolidate your company position. So if you are in a business like B2B, now you have to look at B2C. And you know, selling B2B and B2C is a different new animal, correct? Different new animal. Like, I remember I read the history of Toys R Us. They are so big, right? And they are used to ship containers from factories to the store. And the stores are very big, huge. So they are very good in their logistics. And then they try to do B2C. And they found that packing individual toys is not their forte. So Christmas season, they got jam up. They can't deliver on time. So it's a different skill. B2B and B2C is different. So you got to invest in the system. You got to invest in new people. And people in this digital world, they are not cheap like yourself, right? That like yourself, correct?
So, Boyd, I understand that during your time running Enzer, you all also had to make a pivot from selling, I believe, from B2B to B2C as well, from selling the components to consumer electronics to directly to consumers. So how was it like having to make a transition like that?
It's a strategic decision, because when you sell on behalf of somebody, you are not the brand owner, and a lot of business people can relate to me. You are always at the brand owner's mercy. You can build that business very well. You penetrate the market for them, and the day will come, they say, thank you very much, Ted, now we want to do it ourselves. So you have years of building the market for them, and when you are successful, you lose it. And if you're not successful, you also will lose it. So for us, it's a very strategic decision that we have to control our own destiny. So therefore, we have to use the resources we have to build a brand that we can sell globally. But the transition, honestly, is painful, because you don't expect your people who are good in selling electronic components to be able to sell consumer products. It's a different animal. So you have to invest in new people, new talent, and people cost money, right? So that's our experience.
So in the current climate, right, a lot of businesses actually haven't experienced going online. I mean, they were, doing offline business and they are still doing very well. But when COVID came along, in order to reach out to customers and prospects, kind of the only way right now is via online, through social media, through their website. So
yes,
on that note, I think it's not too late for some businesses to come on board online. And talking about online marketing, you are one of the few successful entrepreneurs that I know of that's super updated with all this digital marketing stuff. I mean, we talk about all this sales funnel, sales page in our conversations, in which many marketers are also not proficient with. So I'm quite surprised, like, why are you so into online marketing in spite of your success in the offline space?
That's a very good question, very interesting question. Our consumer electronic product was sold in maybe 21, 23 countries in the world. And we always sell through chain stores like Best Denki. In South Africa, you will have Macro, Pick and Pay, And when you sell through chain stores, you never know who is your customer. You never know. You have sales. So for example, in Singapore, courts will sell for you. But you go to courts and you pay courts, and courts will have your credit card. But we don't have it. The brand owner don't have it. So I thought, wow, this is going to be not so good for business. And if you look at the digital world, the asset is your database of customers. So I thought, hey, I want to do it different this time. And I want to do it through digital marketing, through e-commerce. Why? So that we can build a valuable database, which you can never get when you sell through chain stores like Guardian or Watson. They have it, but you don't have it. So I see that as a good strategy to build. But of course, it's not easy. We are still building. We are still investing. But if you find a right marketing company who are good, like this company called Icecube, then you engage them and you shorten your learning cycle time. So I think for Icecube and for other digital marketing company, it's a very good chance now. Very good chance. Yeah. Because businesses are forced to use it. I had a meeting with my pastor friend this morning. She says she's in the tuition business. Now, students cannot go to the tuition center. What's going to happen? They have to teach online. No choice, got to teach online. So therefore, it's going to be a transformation. Teachers have to learn how to teach online. No choice, right? Either you do that or you mati, you die.
Mm. In fact, we had quite a bit of activity recently doing all sorts of different online transformation. For example, some of the companies approach us, haven't done online marketing before. They were doing prospecting and approaching people via roadshows, which is not feasible right now. So they are really exploring online customer acquisition for the first time. And I think it's not too late. And there are many different ways in which businesses are taking advantage of online opportunities as well, like making their event into a virtual event. One of the schools is like doing a virtual open house instead of offline. And the interesting thing is that they were very apprehensive that you cannot close customers online, but actually it is proven otherwise. It actually shows that it's still possible to close deals online with the right methods, and still building rapport through online methods is still possible as well.
So we must congratulate them for making that decision to go online. I think after this COVID, there will be great transformation of businesses. That looks like there's not much of an alternative but to go online. This morning I attended 2 hours. I had 2 meetings this morning. It's all through Zoom and telephone. We can't meet face to face. So using Zoom itself is an experience for me, right? Because I'm close to coming to 70 years old. To learn how to press which button is quite difficult, right? First, the finger is very stiff. So we have to learn new skill. So this COVID-19 will force many, even churches, to transform. And we have to be competent in digital marketing.
Yeah, right now, a lot of businesses that were not open to certain ideas, interestingly, they are really adopting new solutions right now. So I guess blessing in disguise.
So are you seeing an upsurge in business?
To a certain extent, to a certain extent, yes. I mean, there are companies that pause their campaigns because they cannot operate their business as well. And there are companies that are much better off than before, company in industries that are benefiting. So there's up and down, I would say. On that note, like after, I mean, this COVID-19 situation is going to come to an end no matter what. We don't know how long it will take, few years or few months, but when it comes to an end, do you think there's certain opportunities that will arise, or the world will be different from before, and how businesses can get themselves prepared for it?
I was, one of the investment I make is in the skincare business. That's one of the investment we have. I see opportunity. After this COVID-19, there will be a lot of bloodshed. Those skincare business that is not in e-commerce or do a lot of digital marketing in another country, it will be quite tough for them. Quite tough. So they can do one or two things. One thing is they can go and raise capital, raise funds. So that's an opportunity for a lot of us. You can buy cheaper, Second, they can, if they can't raise funds and very hard to borrow from the banks, they may have to close down. So when they close down, still an opportunity for people to buy them. Because what do we want to buy? We want to buy the customer base. So there will be opportunity. Now, earlier on, I mentioned about, or you asked me the question, what happened if the company run out of cash? And I shared that, of course, the founder, the owner must raise capital. You can raise capital from the shareholder, you can raise capital from the market. Then you have to look at within your company, because inside the company you have a lot of cash items, cash asset. For example, inventory. Now, inventory in management we call it dead capital, dead, D-E-A-D, dead. So we have to convert this dead capital into good capital, cash. Therefore, we have to launch special promotion to convert the inventory into cash. So in a bad economic situation, we always must keep cash. So if you can do special promotion to sell off your inventory, please do it. And if companies offer you, like companies offer us in skincare, hey, you buy more bottles, I give you a special discount. I say, no, I don't want that special discount. I want to keep the money as cash. Even next time when I need the bottle, I buy from you, I pay a little bit more, it's okay. But I want to ensure I'm very liquid. So that must be the mind of the business owner.
So right now, you recommend them in order to get some cash, get some revenue, because a lot of them are facing much lower revenue than before. So do you recommend in order to prop up sales, to try to do some discounts and slash their prices to attract new customers?
Yes, because I want cash. I want to sell off whatever I can to keep cash in the company. So to entice your existing customer to buy, you got to give them good offer. And to a business owner, good offer means low price. Some of them, they have cash, so they don't mind to use cash. But you as a business owner, your mindset must always be, I must have cash. Be strong in a cash position. Because when the upturn comes, you have money to do a lot of things. So do I recommend special promotion? Yes. Do I recommend discount? Yes.
Yeah, in fact, right now we are also helping a few clients to introduce a new offer online, just online, that is lower price than before. and doing e-commerce and collecting payment upfront. So things that they haven't done before. So even for service business, we are creating payment gateway, collect cash upfront, and from there, they at least have some sales activity going on, and for them to take advantage of the advertising opportunities that's going on right now, because ad cost is really down. So at least there's some activity that they can do.
Is there a down in the advertisement cost from Google or from Facebook now?
Yeah, we are seeing it across our accounts in terms of the cost of impression, cost per click. I mean, because Facebook and Google functions like an auction. So when there's less competition, less people bidding for those ad spaces, then the price would just go down. And it's like one of those rare, very rare few moments in history that ad prices actually go opposite direction. Instead of going up, which we see in the last few years, like this is the first time it has went down. So for businesses that are still selling their products, then they can take advantage of that opportunity as well.
I see. I thought Google and Facebook, their position is so strong that there won't be a downward pricing. So it did happen, huh? That's good.
I think there is a lot of fear also going around. So businesses are going to be more conservative. So some of them hold back on spending. So that is understandable as well.
So let me ask you, as you are an expert marketer, digital marketer. In a downturn like that, what would you recommend to your clients? Should they cut marketing budget?
I would say yes and no. If they don't have anything to sell right now, then they can't advertise for the sake of say branding, in which right now they want to conserve cash. So if you ask them to advertise for the sake of branding right now, it goes against having to conserve cash. So I would say, like what you say, for survival is key right now. If they have extra cash, then it's a time for them, it's a good opportunity for them to build up their market leader position. So they can, like offer some freebies or lower price items in order to let more people know about them. What we call top of funnel kind of content or free gifts, so that they can build up their funnel. And when the COVID period ends, then they will become much stronger than they were before, because their competitors are too busy trying to conserve cash and not being aggressive during this period. So at the end of it, if anyone who is aggressive during this period, even in the advertising space, they will come out better than before.
Okay, I share with you and your audience this experience I have. In a downturn, it is good to step up the branding, the marketing and branding, provided you have something to sell. If you've got nothing to sell and you just want to make your company known, people don't know what are you known for. But if you have, for example, a skincare product, in a downturn, you will step up the marketing. Why? Why do we do that? Number one, you got to instill confidence in your customer that you are around. You are not fading off. So you do your promotion, your branding to assure your customer that your company is stable, your company is well managed. That's the first thing. You don't want your customer to lose confidence. Don't know whether I will have my skincare supply or not next month, you don't want that to happen. So you got to continue to keep yourself aware. And to do that, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Yeah, you don't have to, because you can always PM them, private message them. Now everybody stay at home. I mean, the aircon 24 hours a day and my skin is very dry. What can you do to keep your skin moisturized? And that's done through apps. It's not so expensive, right? So you got to keep your marketing effort ongoing. Second, like you said earlier, during a downturn, you probably can buy advert space, words cheaper. You probably can. How much, I'm not sure. I didn't do a detailed study, but I think you can achieve that. Yeah, the cost will be lower. But more important is to assure your customer that you are surviving and you are doing good, is to instill confidence. I see many companies, when the business is down, they just quiet. They keep quiet. And then give chance to competitor to come and take your market share. You don't want that to happen. You know, the best time to hire people, which we spoke about earlier, is when you don't need them. Like right now, I'm also looking for good marketer, digital marketing people. If you have, let me know. Because it's a good time. A lot have been laid off, a lot have got not much job, you know. So you take a gamble. The best time for you to take loan from the bank is when you don't need it. When you need money from the bank can smell it, and they will make it so difficult. After making it difficult, you get nothing. So the best time to take money from the bank is when you don't need it. And the best time to hire people is when you don't need it. You are not under pressure, you can choose. So this downturn has got some benefits actually.
So in fact, some of our clients in our portfolio, especially the high growth ones, they are really stepping it up. So like what you say, those that are poised for growth, those ambitious ones, they are still continuing advertising. So and Boyd, you mentioned about business fundamentals and also getting ourselves prepared. So I mean, COVID aside, right? So what are some of the things that businesses can do to grow their business right now and to dominate their industry and even get to the level that you brought Enzer to 8 figures, 9 figures kind of revenue?
What can businesses do, COVID aside?
COVID aside, like their fundamentals, what are the things? I mean, all the competition is very strong in the business world, we know. So but how can they grow and get breakthroughs?
I think the number one is still your people, the talent you have. You can have a grade A strategic plan, grade A++. But if you have B grade staff, you fail. If you have A grade staff, A grade people, A grade management team, and you have a B grade strategic plan, you will succeed. Chances are you'll be more successful. So therefore, the founder, the CEO, must understand what are the fundamentals of business. One is the people, another one is the finance part, another one is your business model. Yeah. If you are in a very good position now, you may be in a good position now, but after the COVID or next year, you don't know what will your position be. So therefore, the CEO must be able to look into the future trend. What is threatening your business? What technology is threatening your business? I think we have so many examples. Even the phone, the telephone. Now, if you carry the old phone, people laugh at you. You must carry a smartphone. And a smartphone is really very useful. I can do my email, I can take picture, I can do notes, I can make telephone call, I can have directory. So the CEO must be able to look into the future trend of your business And one of the best way to find out is talk to your customer. How are they changing? So the CEO must really strengthen the fundamental, but first and foremost is your people. And second, of course, the CEO must ensure the company got money. If you got no money, your good people will leave. Agree? We're in a very real world. Come on, if you pay your salary late, they will run, they will move. Agree?
Yeah. So, and Boyd, you have advised a lot of prominent entrepreneurs behind the scenes, and also given advice to myself, our company, and things that we found really useful. So what do you think are some of the mistakes that SMEs are making that prevents them from growing?
Just now you mentioned a lot of SME are now trying to adopt e-commerce. That is one of the mistakes they make. They were very comfortable, no need e-commerce. But now they are forced to do e-commerce. So that's one of the common mistakes I see. Second, a lot of SME boss, they don't train their people. When you talk to them about training their people, they say got grant or not. No grant, they don't do it. So they don't believe. They don't believe that people can really make their business. And that's the second mistake. The third mistake is the CEO think he's the best. He's complacent. He think his position is very solid. But you know, technology change, product life cycle gets shorter. These are real threats to any businesses. Even to the banks. You look at the fintech, how are they transforming the banks? I just read one of the local bank is going to tie up with Google or somebody to do fund transfer. Can you imagine a bank have to tie up with one of the digital guy to do fund transfer? How come? Because there's a lot of technology behind that the bank may not have. And now you're seeing Delgro so strong in the taxi, right? They're going to tie up with Redmart to deliver grocery. So business have to be evolving. And that's the job of a CEO to see that trend. So that's the failure of a SME boss. They don't see it. And they don't think they need it. So you talk to them about skills upgrading, upgrade their people, they ask you got grant or not.
I also
is that your experience?
Yeah, I tend to notice that people like to look for quick fix. So some of the clients or people that approach us, they think that, oh, if I do digital marketing, then my business will be safe. Or once COVID is gone, then my problems will be gone, which may not be the case because of some fundamental business model issues that's present as well that may, like even digital marketing may not be able to help them. So in those cases, we'll actually ask them to examine, the trends and the business models, like what you were saying.
You see, I share this with you. Yesterday, my Connect group leader in my church, is our leader. So he sent a text and say, what is your biggest fear in this COVID-19? Of course, we are cheeky. We say we can't go out to our kopitiam. We can't go out to have our yakun, and sit there and enjoy. But I think more deeper, I told him, because now we can worship through Facebook Live. Facebook Live, so the worship is there. And we may develop the habit that, hey, I can just sit at home and do Facebook Live and still worshiping. Why do I need to go to church? Now that is a danger that I fear. I would develop the habit that I don't have to go to church. I just stay at home tune on to Facebook Live and worship along. And anytime I want to have a kopi, I just walk to the kitchen and get a kopi, you know. Whereas in church, you can't. You can't drink kopi in the church. So these are habits we form. So I think this COVID-19 will change the business scenario greatly. Like now, you're so used to ordering food at home, right? You call, okay, you pay $5 for delivery. But I don't have to go to a restaurant. I don't have to look for car park. Can I eat more at home? So what happened to the restaurant? They pay very high rental. And they pay high rental and the tenant are under REITs, REITs. They got to deliver certain return to the investor. So the COVID-19 will change the way we do business.
That is very thought-provoking. Like the world is going to change because of this, and many businesses will have to evolve along or they will become obsolete.
Yes. But your business should be good. You guys got foresight, huh?
Yeah, digital marketing is the in thing. So, Boyd, I would like to finish off by asking about this personal question about how you personally handle stress, because stress is a big part of an entrepreneur's life. Even without COVID, we encounter failures, stress all the time. But being an entrepreneur, you have to be resilient, as they call it. So what is your own coping mechanisms to deal with all this stress that is so strong right now?
Of course, now I don't feel the stress so much as when I was managing a public listed company. When I was managing a public listed company, you have to answer to your shareholder, you have to answer to your stakeholder, you have to answer to the banks, you have to answer to the regulatory bodies like stock exchange. Every time they send you a letter, wow, you have to go and see your lawyer and craft out an answer, you know. But still, there will be stress as a business owner. So how do I handle personally? Of course, I thank God that I have this strong faith in Jesus. That really helps me a lot. Because who can I go to for real help? Who can I go to have advice, wisdom, decision? I just go to the Holy Spirit. So that is the spiritual side. I spend a lot of time because God is so good. He loved me. He died for me. I have that assurance. So that is a big plus for me. For those of you who don't know Christ, I strongly suggest you find a way. But on the other side, how do I manage stress? I think important is to exercise. Of course, I'm close to 70. I cannot be running like I used to run cross country, but I still exercise about every day. Either do the cross trainer or go walk. I exercise, but when I exercise, I will listen to a sermon. I will listen to something on YouTube to benefit my mind and benefit my body. So exercise is important. And I think our body is made also to rest. We must have enough sleep. We must. I don't know, how many hours of sleep do you need, Ted?
I need 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
8, yeah, I need at least 7. So I will try to make at least 7 hours. So sleep is very important, exercise is important, and of course, food. But food is very tough. We know char kway teow no good, you know, but we still eat char kway teow. But then you just have to exercise to make sure you get it burned away. So the basic thing is you just have to exercise, you have rest, you have your spiritual life. And of course, family life is so important. Family, if you have a happy family, You work with your family, your stress level is quite manageable, I would say. Of course, if they don't drive you up the wall. But having a happy family also helped me to de-stress. Now I have investment in other companies, right? So if those companies not performing well, I also stress, because my money is cold, So I also will try to help them and pray for them. So how do you handle stress yourself?
So I guess right now, one of the positive things is we are stuck at home working, and then we get to really spend time with family. My wife is also working from home. So this is one of the not so bad things that's happening right now, I guess. So can take the opportunity to have more family time.
Amen. You got children, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Coming up. I saw one joke. This guy say working from home is not a good idea for him. And then the guy asked why. He said, at home I got to do my office work. I also got to do housework. So I got to do two work.
And as employers, you certainly do not hope so.
Yeah, but you can't see, right? But stress is a very serious thing. So we have to have a balanced life. Balanced life doesn't mean you don't work hard. You still work very hard. But you must have time for exercise. You must have time to rest. You must have time to go for a holiday with your family.
Yeah, because
so we got to balance out.
I guess entrepreneurs have this tendency to be very obsessive with one thing, with build business. But at the end of the day, there are also other aspects to life, family, exercising, and all that we also cannot neglect to maintain our mental health.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Very true. So what do you think will come out of this COVID-19 for your business?
Right now, we are really stepping up on things. For example, doing this interview with you, Boyd, to tap on your knowledge and pick your brains, things that we haven't really done before. I mean, we have always wanted to do interviews like this, but I guess this COVID period also allows us more time because we have been busy with operations and all that. So now is a time to do things like this, to step up on our content marketing, help more people during this time, and also build up our brand awareness. And also, we are also still having new projects coming along. So it's still a busy period. I just think that we'll just keep going, and then at the end of it, we should be stronger than before.
Yeah, I think the opportunity for Icecube will be very good. Because a lot of businesses now realize that they cannot do without online. They cannot. They will just fade away.
Okay, so I don't want to hold up your time anymore. We have gone on for quite a bit. So thanks a lot, Boyd, for your valuable sharing today. And so for people who still want to find out more about Boyd, don't worry, you can always read about him. He has written a book, I Don't Want to Be Poor. That's the name of the book. It's a very interesting read. I actually finished it in like one sitting. And right now it's the COVID period. So you have all the time to enrich ourselves by reading book. You can get this book at National Library, but can borrow the online version and start reading right away. Yeah. So
okay. Thank you so much,
Boyd. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop us a private message at this Facebook page. If you have a lot more questions, we may just do another session to answer your questions. So once again, thank you, Boyd, for your valuable time in sharing with our audiences today.
Well, the questions we can try, but I must tell you, I am not super expert. I will answer if I can from my experience.
Yeah, you are always very humble.
But COVID-19 is something we have never faced in our life. I think the COVID-19 is going to be worse than the Great Depression in the 1930s. Because in the 1930s, it's only America. Now it's global. The whole supply chain is just get frozen, you know.
Yeah. So right now it's really unprecedented. So we really need a faith to keep everyone going in that sense, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Boyd. So,
thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.